Sitting here with my son, Sacred. We're going to make him sweat a little bit. You take chances. Swimming with sharks.
Yeah, life's about taking chances.
I don't know. Well, there's some chances I would take. Those would not be one of them.
I mean, I take calculated risks. I'm not one of those crazy people
Jumping out of planes. I know moms don't usually ask this. How many girlfriends have you had? How many times have you been in love? What attracts you to a woman physically?
Physically?
You talking to your mama, be careful.
I know. I'm getting grilled right now.
What's your approach to handling disagreements and conflicts in your relationships?
Do you get a lot of feedback about your name? Are you your name?
Am I sacred?
Yes.
I'm gonna give a PMT response. We're all sacred.
Out of all the places that you've been to film, what was your favorite?
Hands down, the Tiger Kingdom stuff.
That's what I thought.
I'm not gonna lie, this is sick.
You're literally filming tigers, no cages.
Yes.
If they wanted to, they can tear us all apart. But they didn't.
What do you think about artificial intelligence?
It's interesting, you know, it's in one hand, it's a tool that I think we can use to propel humanity forward. Now, on the flip,
if you could ask God one question, what question would it be?
Welcome to the Sacred Thomas Podcast.
So this is going to be interesting because usually you're on the other side of the interview. And this time what we're going to do is interview Sacred. I'm sitting here with my son, Sacred. And we're going to make him sweat a little bit.
perfect.
Sweating in the gym is one thing. Sweating under your mom's eye is another.
Sure.
So
I'm ready for it.
all right. So Sacred, when you were a little boy, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I didn't know.
Ever? You never had any aspirations as a little boy? You know, I know when I was little, my brother wanted to be a basketball player. But also, I'm sure he wanted to do other things because he had a triple scholarship. But I know basketball was his love. And I know that's probably the elephant in the room with your height. You're 6'5", and I'm sure you get it everywhere you go. Hey, are you a baller? Do you play basketball? Did you play basketball?
Mm-hmm.
And you're an athlete.
Well, I have two memories of what I wanted to be. The first one is younger, like whenever I was in school, I remember grade school. I remember teachers would ask, you know, what do you want to be when you grow up? You know, I would always hear people say fireman, police officer, doctor, lawyer, all those things. None of those things actually ever made sense to me. So I knew I wanted to love what I do, but I didn't know what it was. But fast forward to high school, at some point, yeah, I think every kid's like, hey, I want to be in the NBA. And I did play basketball in high school. And I realized that I didn't love basketball in high school. So, yeah.
So you're speaking of high school, at that time, was there anything that you were already passionate about that brought you to where you are right now?
In high school?
Yes.
What was I passionate about? In high school, I just wanted to play video games.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, in high school, I just wanted to play video games and hang out with friends. I didn't really have a passion like that.
So I mentioned that I was going to make you sweat.
Yeah. I'm already sweating.
Who was your first girlfriend? I mean, what age was your first girlfriend?
I was about to say her name.
No names necessary.
We had the same last name.
Wow, really?
You don't remember?
I do remember.
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that was your first.
Yeah, she didn't have to change anything if it ended up working out.
Well, at that age, I doubt highly likely that it would work out.
Why do you doubt me?
I was hoping that wouldn't work out. I mean, you're too young for that. You were too young for that. And speaking of girls, I know moms don't usually ask this. How many girlfriends have you had?
4.
Really?
Yeah. Girls that I would consider my girlfriend. To me, a girlfriend's a big step.
I agree. I taught
So
you well.
for me to consider someone my girlfriend that I am serious about in that moment, and at different ages and capacities, you think it's serious, you know, but 4.
How many times have you been in love?
I'd like to say 4. But there's different stages of it, you know? Like you're in love in high school. Is it love? I think so at the moment. At that time, I think it is.
So what did love mean to you in high school versus love meaning to you now?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. What did it mean? Can I think about what love meant?
Yeah.
For me, in high school, love was... Yeah, I guess I wasn't in love.
See, that's the lesson in this.
Yeah, I think... Because I could just describe a feeling, you know, and I think love's more than that.
Okay.
So in high school, to me, I was just, you know, feeling we felt great together. I loved being in her presence. I loved doing things with her. But it wasn't deep.
Well, that sounds like what someone would want now in a relationship. Love being with a person.
Yeah, that's surface, though.
Yeah. So what's different now?
What do I think love is now?
Yes.
Love is an action.
Is it an action?
Yeah, you choose who to love.
I'm so glad you say that, because there are people who say you can't choose, you can't help who you fall in love with. I know that's a lie, because there are people that are very loving and kind, and it's a physical thing first, and they wouldn't give that person a chance. They wouldn't give that person a chance, and that person could be the most loving person on the planet, maybe even the best fit, but because of however they look, or that person may not be attracted to, they didn't give that person a chance to be in love with.
Yeah. Well, I definitely have to be attracted to you.
Yeah.
At least initially.
So what are you attracted to? What attracts you as it relates to a woman physically?
Physically,
you talking to your mama? Be careful.
I know. I know this is weird. Physically, I mean, for me, you just have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of. I mean, I'm constantly in the gym, so preferably I would like someone who's active as well. They don't have to necessarily be lifting weights like me, but active. So whether rock climbing's your thing, hiking, swimming.
So do you have a preference though? I mean, you have people who are like bodybuilder that are women, bodybuilders, and then you have women who are just athletic. Is there a preference?
I like athletic.
So you don't want a woman who can flip you over her shoulders or anything?
No, absolutely not. Athletic, but not manly. not manly.
But there's nothing wrong with manly, right? I mean, come on, you're going to get canceled.
I'm
just kidding.
No, there is for me. It's my preference.
That's right. That's right.
It's my preference. Yes, for me, I want to date and get engaged to and marry a woman. It's my preference.
That's lean.
Yeah, so I like lean, and I like semi tall.
Oh.
I am 6'5". So when I say semi tall, I mean like 5'6" to like 5'9", 10".
So would you date a woman that's 6 feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. So also, for y'all who don't know, my sister's asking questions in the room.
This is weird, but anyway. I think I'm too close to the mic.
You can't overdo it.
So let's do a follow-up. You said you want to date and get engaged and get married to a woman. What would it take for you to pull that trigger?
Why does it have to be a trigger?
Well, it's a country saying. It's a country saying.
I know, but society has it where a man's like, your last day of being married, your last day of being alive.
Oh, well, that's
that's the negative connotation with being married from a guy's perspective.
So the positive connotation.
Yeah, I didn't take it negatively.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
Okay, so let me ask the question again. So you said
You don't have to ask it again.
that.
I understood it.
This is so funny in this dark corner. Go ahead.
What would it take? One word. Peace.
Expand.
I would need to be able to be 100% authentically myself around that person.
Now, you got to unpack that, because I've raised you to be 100% yourself. I mean, who else are you? Who's in this house? Who are
I
you?
can unpack it. It's, you get in relationships, and in my experience, things start out great, and eventually there's someone who's trying to change something about the other person. And I think actually some of it comes from a good place. And I think there are certain qualities I have that could be a little, is toxic the word?
No, toxic is not a good word.
Okay, whatever. There's
Improvement.
everyone needs to improve and grow. Okay, so there's certain people who can shine light on that. So I actually believe that is true. However, to pull that trigger, I would need to be able to do what I'm doing now and have peace.
You don't plan on having kids?
I do want kids.
You're not going to have peace. You don't have peace with kids.
One more
you have a lot of love.
I'm talking about peace with my partner.
With your partner. I'm just kidding.
Have you met anyone that you can see a future with?
Yeah. I've met. Yeah, I have.
Well, let me interject with something you just said.
I'm getting grilled right now.
You need to be grilled.
No, it's fine. You can keep going. You said I was going to sweat.
One thing I've taught you guys is that no one can change you. Experiences is what change you. So I guess people connect that with a person, but experiences is what change you. I told you about James Allen. One of my favorite books is As a Woman Thinketh and As a Man Thinketh, James Allen. And he said, circumstance does not make the man or woman. It reveals him to himself. In other words, you're already that person. What a person should always want to do, which, I think is provocative and I think is growth. You should always be willing to grow for yourself. And when it comes to relationships, whether it's a relationship as far as girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, families, you're not the same person. So there's going to be some debate on how you see things. Where growth comes in is communication. But there may be a time where you and that person, where the communication is not the same. And if it's not the same, it doesn't make you a bad person as far as what you agree on. And if those things that you disagree on outweighs being together, why compromise your life? Why compromise who you are? It doesn't make you a bad person, but it makes you not compatible to each other at that time. Sometimes the miracle comes from when you may just totally have to cut it off, and then you grow and you might find each other again in some other time. But what I love, and another person I listen to and I raise you guys to listen to, is Wayne Dyer and Deepak Chopra. You're definitely not the same person you were a month ago if you're growing. You're not the same person you were a year ago. That's why some marriages don't work, because people, they grow into who they are becoming, and you never stop growing if you're open to growth. And sometimes one person's growing, the other person just wants everything to just stay the same.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I signed up for, and you're not that person I signed up for anymore. And that could be a problem.
Yeah,
that could be a contrast.
I mean, I think that is a problem because at the end of the day, there's nothing guaranteed in life but change.
And taxes.
Okay.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
No, but your dad would say the only thing constant in the universe is change.
Yeah.
He used to tell me that all, and that's true.
Yeah.
And some people resist change. Now, does that make that person a bad person? That's just who they are at that time in their life.
Yeah.
See, we have a tendency to judge and say, oh, you know, you're supposed to do that, or you're not supposed to do this, and you're supposed. You can't. Don't. Wayne Dyer used to say, "Don't shit on me." No, I shouldn't.
Yeah, I was about to say some people were. Wayne Dyer is one of them. Would say you should remove "should" from your vocabulary.
Yeah, don't shit on me. You can't tell. And again, it doesn't make the individuals a bad person unless you're Jeffrey Dahmer. You know, he likes.
Yeah.
He don't like steak. He likes people. No, I'm just kidding. But what I'm saying is, there's no black and white to life.
Of course not.
There's no defined life to life. There's all kinds of hills and valleys, just like nature.
If my audience was wondering where I get my knowledge, here it is.
From your daddy, Don Johnson.
Right,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Question for you. Where do you want to take me in your travels?
Thailand.
Why Thailand?
No hesitation.
Why Thailand?
Because you love Thai food.
Yes, I do love Asian food. I love
you
spicy.
love Thai food. It's going to be, I mean, it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful place. And, I mean, you love Thai food here, Thai food over there.
10 times better.
Yeah.
I would like to go somewhere with you that you've never been and we discover it at the same time.
Antarctica.
There you go. Now, I hope
'Cause you
polar
like the
bears
cold now,
don't
right?
like dark meat. I really do. I hope they don't like dark meat.
I don't even think you won't see polar bears out there. You'll see nothing.
Well, that's what you say.
You'll literally see nothing.
I see a lot of National Geographics.
Yeah, it's probably in like Alaska or something.
Yeah. So,
Antarctica doesn't have a whole lot of life. There's life there, but it's...
so what the hell are we going there for if there's no
Because
life?
I want to go to all 7 continents.
Okay, well, you're trying to kill me.
Yeah, but no, we don't have to go there. We can go somewhere else.
Africa, more of Africa.
Yeah.
I
I'd like
think,
to take you to Egypt.
Yeah, or Africa. I actually really, I've gone through, but I want to spend time in Louisiana with you and your sister.
Perfect.
You know, I'm into history, American slavery, because I'm not one of those people who believe that you shouldn't know that part of your history. I think our ancestors who survived getting over here is deep. I think the ancestors that survived and got here and built what was built in America and created some incredible human beings that exist still to this day should know their history, because I mean it's so rich in knowing what we had to go through, and we still stand.
Yeah.
I think that's something that's being lost in Black civilization.
Yeah.
And that it makes me sad that we don't know the heroes in our history. You know, it makes me really sad. We only can name.
Yeah, we don't know that we used to be kings. Queens.
Well, even before, we don't know we were kings, but can you imagine? Yeah, and that's what people promote. Okay, we were kings before we were slaves. Not everybody was a king or queen, by the way.
Okay.
But what makes you a king or queen now is the fact that you survived. When you read the stories that the slaves went through and still was alive. I mean, it's unimaginable.
Yeah, they really
And
persevered.
you know how strong you have to be, not just physically strong, mentally strong, spiritually strong, which a lot of people have a spiritual deficit.
Spiritual deficit.
And so I think we have a lot of emptiness and empty shells of people who, if they only knew who they were, they would really, really love themselves.
So how do we change that?
What you're doing now. I think with your podcast, you should interview a lot of the elderly who've been through things, black and white, seen things. I really think you should. You know, this generation is caught up into celebrity and their ideology of what success is. I mean, back then when you think success was just to be free and the movement of freedom, you stood for something. You stood for something. You fought for something that was divine, that was, like I said, spiritual. And the reason why I use the term empty now, because a lot of people, and I don't want to sound negative, I'm not everybody, just don't stand for anything. And so we get caught up in celebrity and what celebrity means to us. And we hang our hat on that. And it can be detrimental to our society because a lot of the celebrities have the same issues that you do. And they can be as disappointing. And it's all, in some ways, remember, celebrity is about the television, it's about the radio, it's about talent, it's about music, it's about entertainment, which makes it not real. And so with it not being real, you have this facade, lies what we're talking about, what love is, what health is, what health looks like, what beauty is. This is what's molding our society, what beauty is. And so, again, that's what makes it a spiritual deficit. When real celebrities, if you want to say, because celebrity means to celebrate, what you should be celebrating is that there's a person who was in the Holocaust and they survived and they have a story to tell about strength. What you really want to celebrate is there is somebody who was in the Tuskegee, that whole detriment there, where they had to fight when they had built their own Wall Street and it got burned down. The last, I think there are like maybe 3 people left that are alive, and they're suing the government now to, I guess, to get what they deserve. You know, those are real celebrities. People who save lives every day are celebrities. We got in the way. There was a time somebody wanted to be a firefighter versus a twerker, a tweeter, or what do they call them? I don't know, twerks. And there's a place for everything. There's really, and I'm supposed to be interviewing you, but there's a place for everything. Just like music, you know, I there's a place for everything. Why are they laughing?
Wait, hold on. If we were in church, I would be that one woman in the front saying, "Speak it, go, yes, that's right."
No,
because but what you're saying is so true. I would love to see him. Oh my goodness! Interviews from elderly and
you asked
survivors.
me, what do we do about it? You have a platform, and I would never tell you how to do your business, but I wouldn't limit it to just celebrities. And you don't. You have people who've done some great things.
Yeah, I've had one celebrity on my podcast.
Right. Well, that's true. You're right. You do, and I love your podcast. Matter of fact, I watch it 3 or 4 times. But you're asking me what you can do, and this is more of that. And they don't. What I'm saying is they don't have to be as provocative as some may think. I love your interview with Fletcher. I love Fletcher. He's so cool.
Yeah, he's the homie.
Yeah, Fletcher's my homie now. He don't know it. Homie don't play that.
Yeah, he'd love to hear that.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Okay, next question for you. Okay. When are you getting married?
Next question.
No. Do you what? Let me ask you a question as it relates to marriage. Do you feel like there is a time length as far as dating that you
should be married by?
And if you're not, do you cut off that relationship if you're not married?
No. I don't think there's a time length.
Okay, so you can be dating for 20 years and not marry that person?
You could be dating until you die.
So you're okay with that? So there's no like...
I mean, it's case by case. Are you saying in general or me personally?
Well, you. Well, because there's no general. Get out of my conversation.
So, yeah, I aspire to get married, but it's more of a commitment between me and my wife and a higher power rather than the government.
Well, no, I don't mean even that. I mean, well, marriage it envelops a lot of things. I'm talking about marriage where you have real estate together, where you have kids together, and you make decisions how that kid goes to school and how they eat and all that stuff. That's what I mean by marriage. I'm not talking about just the commitment. I mean, I'm talking about when you say, hey, this is what we're going to do. I want 1 or 2 or 3 kids or 5. Is there a time period to make that decision? Because, of course, a man could make a baby up until he's 100.
Yeah, so I think there's a time clock when it comes to a woman. For a guy, not as much, So when we're talking about me, I don't. I mean, I guess I'm getting older. So, yeah, I think would I want to spend another 30 years not married? Probably not.
Okay.
But I'm also not, there's not a single part of me that is in a rush.
Right.
I'm not longing. I want things to happen naturally. So.
Right.
Follow-up question.
Sure, go ahead.
I think what she was referring to, though, is like, how long do you have to be in a relationship before you decide whether or not to continue to the next level with a woman? Because, as you just said, women have time clocks. So you wouldn't want to stay with a woman for 20 years who wants kids and not actually have children with her and develop a family with her.
Yeah, so I think it's case by case. But for me specifically, I don't have a time clock, but would I value their time clock? Yeah.
So,
but if we're not, say we're not where we need to be
in a year or two.
In a year or two, I would understand that person saying, hey, my time clock's running out. But if I don't think we're in the right space, I'm like, I'd be okay with letting them walk away.
Now,
so you wouldn't make the decision, is what you're saying. You wouldn't say, hey, this isn't working for me. You would just be waiting for them to make the decision.
It just depends. It just depends. But it's because for me it would be, well, we can still try to make it work. But if that time clock is a big deal for that person, then yeah, they would have to make that decision. But for me, I can keep going like, hey, we can still work on whatever issues we're having. You know what I'm saying?
So I guess the only reason why I'm doing so many follow-ups to this is because a lot of women feel that men will waste their time and not take responsibility for cutting it off if they don't see a serious future in the next step.
But it takes 2 to tango, right?
Sure, but you're saying you can keep going and keep going.
Yeah, but it takes 2 to tango. If that is a deal breaker and like, hey, my biological clock is running out, I need this to happen now, and he is not ready.
Well, it's not just biological.
Whatever the case is, cut the cords.
But you wouldn't be cut, so you wouldn't tell her no.
If I think that there's still a chance to actually get this relationship to a point where we're both ready to move on, because at the end of the day, I'm about to say should.
It shouldn't.
But at the end of the day, like even Wayne said this on one of my podcasts, and it really resonated. You can't change your partner, but you can embody the invitation. So if I'm deciding to marry you out of pressure, that's not the way to do it. The man has to be ready.
No, but she's saying, why don't you? I get both sides.
No,
He's saying if he still sees.
Why doesn't he cut him off? Why wouldn't the man cut her off?
Yeah.
Basically, why?
Because he still sees that there's a possibility that it could.
So you don't believe in men holding women as placeholders until they find something better.
Oh, that's
yeah.
definitely possible.
Okay,
for
that's
sure.
what I'm getting at. Because
Yeah.
when you say 20 years, that's a placeholder.
Yeah.
A man knows.
Well, no, Oprah's not married. She's been with a life partner for however many years, you know?
Anecdotal.
Okay,
Well,
next question.
Yeah, it's very possible
Yeah.
to be a placeholder. All that's possible.
So what are you holding on to that's holding you back?
What am I holding on to that's holding me back? It's very broad.
Or is there anything that's holding you back?
There's a couple things, but I think I hold myself back sometimes.
Yeah.
I think I can be a little more organized. You know, I think I can also say no quicker. I take on too many things sometimes, and it actually pushes me back towards the ultimate goal.
Right. If you didn't know your age, how old would you be?
25.
Why 25?
Because 25 was the best year of my life.
Oh, well, tell me about it.
No, okay, I'll tell you about it. If I didn't know my age, how old would I be? Does that mean, like, how do I feel? Is that the question?
Well,
I'll tell you about 25 in a second, but...
Like, if you didn't know your age, what would be a comfortable age? What age you thought was just all encompassing? You're still young. You're still old. Are you wiser? Are you?
Like, how old do I feel?
No. What
Mentally
age would you choose to be? Okay, I'll.
Is that not the question? What age
No.
would I choose
Let
to
me
be?
explain something.
So-
if I could choose an age right now, I would be just where I am, and the next age and the next age, because I don't want to miss a thing.
So why didn't you ask if you wanted to choose any age to be?
Because
That's a confusing question.
No, it's like if you could choose an age, what age would you be? Because some people are into the age I had the most fun at 30. If I could stay 30 the rest of my life, I would stay 30. I had the most fun at 20. You know, like if you can drink out of the fountain of youth. You know how some people, and part of that really coincides with why people get surgery, cosmetic surgery. Because they're doing that. They're trying to choose an age through cosmetic surgery, and they want to stay that age.
Well, ask me the question again.
So if you could choose any age, what age would it be?
That wasn't the question.
Okay. Let me go back.
If you didn't know your age...
If you didn't know your age, how old would you be?
So that's about how you feel.
It's also...
That's true.
It is... Well,
that's about
if you
how
didn't
you
know
feel.
your age, how old
Yeah, I feel...
you think you'd be?
Yeah, if I didn't
Okay.
know my age, I said 25.
Okay. Because of how you feel. 25 felt the best.
I feel the best now.
Okay.
But also 20, yeah. So Dad told me that whenever I turned 25, he said 25 was one of the best years of his life. And he went into all the things that had happened. I forgot what he had said. But that year, for some reason, and you know, like when you turn an age, he's like, oh yeah, I remember. And he just gives you stories about for days. But that for some reason, that year I held on to what he said. And I said, you know what? I'm going to make this the best year of my life.
Wow.
And it was. And then I did that again next year. 26, that was also the best year of my life. And every single year since then
Has been the best
has
year.
been the best year of my life.
Right.
So it's kind of a long-standing thing that I do when I turn an age. I'm going to make this the best year I've ever had. And it's very much been that way.
Enter 2020.
No, 2020 was great too. I'm not even gonna lie. Like 2020 was good because, okay, the pandemic was kind of scary at first, but you know, then you at the time, you know, I was with somebody and like, you know, we kind of bunkered down and that was a cool experience. Like I don't know, like I know a lot of people broke up during that time. We didn't. And then we're in Texas, so things opened up pretty quick. And and then, you know, I saw that you could still travel. So, you know, that you just have to follow certain regulations, wear masks. So I still traveled. So 2020, I didn't really skip a beat.
Right.
Different experience.
No, I get it.
You know, different experience from a lot of people. But I mean, personally, it was still a really good year.
Yeah, I like 2022.
I did actually too.
Yeah, I did too. I like 20. I mean, I like all my years, you know.
Yeah.
How many kids do you want?
2 to 3.
Boy, girl?
I want both. Yeah, I want both.
How many boys, how many girls?
I'm not thinking that far ahead. Yeah. I just
Do you even know how to change a diaper?
Ideally, I would like both. But if not, I mean, if I had to choose to have all of one, probably boys.
Oh, really? Why boys?
Because my sister gets on my nerves. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
True, you're not kidding.
No, but it's, I mean, I'm a guy. No, I know what to do. I can't say actually, I don't know what to do. But I'm more in line with knowing what to do with a guy, with a girl. But I have no clue. But I would figure it out, right?
Do you think you'd be overprotective?
100%. With a girl.
Because you are with your sister.
With a girl, yeah.
What would you do if you found out your sister married your best friend?
Married my best, like Alex?
You know what
I would count down the days for the divorce.
Keep my name out your mouth.
I would count down the days for the divorce because I know too much about that man.
All right. You know what's funny? I remember we trick you about that, and all I can see is Scarface. Did you ever watch the movie Scarface? If not, you need to watch that scene.
At some point, I did as a kid.
You shouldn't have seen it as a kid. But anyway.
Sorry, it happened.
Anyway, that scene where Scarface comes to his best friend's house and he knocks on the door and his sister answers the door and she's got on her robe and her pajamas. And then behind him, it shows his best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And he pulled his gun out and he shoots the best friend because he knows his best friend like you knew Alex. And he killed him. And the sister said, "We were married. We were married. We just got married." And he killed him.
Yeah,
So that's the look you had on your face when
I'm not that overprotective.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
You're not going to jail. But no, that was interesting.
Got too much to lose.
But your daughter.
That would never happen.
No, I know.
No, I'm more like the Friday people, you know.
Yeah.
In Friday.
No.
In Friday.
The movie Friday?
No, I'm not Friday. I'm sorry. Bad Boys.
Oh, Bad Boy.
I said Friday. Bad Boys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? When Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, somebody comes to see.
Oh, his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
they
that
both
scene.
scare him. It's more like that.
Yeah, I know. You scare him.
Yeah. I'm not trying to kill nobody.
Your favorite author?
Author?
Yeah.
My favorite author. I have a couple, actually. One of my favorites is David Goggins.
Mm-hmm.
His book, Can't Hurt Me.
Mm-hmm.
That book, after reading that book, it let me know what's possible. Because what this man put himself through, most human beings on the planet wouldn't do it. You know, and it's really about him learning to find himself within his darkness. Back to the darkness. But, you know, within, like, I like how raw he is. So at some point he was 300 pounds and he wanted to be a Navy SEAL. Can't do that at 300 pounds. Mm-hmm. And you know what he did?
What?
He lost 100 pounds in a crazy amount of time. And he didn't sugarcoat what he was. He's like, he would look himself in the mirror and be like, yeah, you're fat. Mm-hmm. That's not the thing that, you know, people say to do. No, it's okay.
It gets you canceled.
Yeah, exactly. But for me, that type of, even the stuff that I put out there is a little more soft, the type of inspiration, motivation I like is a lot harder.
Hardcore stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot personal. Like, yeah, it's, say it like it is.
So I got a question. You have your phone with you?
Yeah, but it's Yeah, I do, but it's monitoring this podcast.
Oh, so you listen to Spotify.
Uh-huh.
How many songs are on your song list?
Thousands.
Okay. What would be number 10?
Why are you gonna ask me what's number 10?
What's your number 10 song? If you could think of your top 10 song, I just want to know what would be number 10. I was going to say like in the middle, but you got 1,000. So.
The thing about me is I don't really know the names of songs.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, I don't know the name.
Okay, so then sing it. Sing the song that you listen to every day.
I don't. I listen to podcasts every day.
Oh, good.
So if you want to say what would be like a top podcast?
I was going to go there, but I want to know your music style.
Oh, I mean, I listen to everything depending on my mood.
I know sometimes you listen to headbanging music.
No, I don't.
What's that sound you make? Something.
Where's this podcast going?
Hey, you wanted me to interview you. Let's stick to the questions.
It's I don't really. Oh, I could say it's probably a Drake song. It's probably a Drake song.
Drake,
yeah.
I like Drake.
Yeah, I know you do.
I like Drake for working out too.
Yeah.
And I like Drake because a lot of his lyrics about when he wasn't so successful and when he got there. And speaking of, what's your definition? How do you define success for Sacred?
Success is putting yourself in a position to grow constantly. I think success is striving towards something that you choose.
Mm-hmm.
Success isn't necessarily the destination until you become along the way.
So it's a journey. That's an old cliche.
It's a cliche, but it's real.
But yeah, and I agree. Success is a journey.
Listen, I'm not where I want to be.
But will you ever be?
Probably not, but I love where I am.
I love that.
You know? You can have them both.
You can. Are you
because
happy?
I'm striving. I'm always striving. But I love where I am. And if I were to die today, no regrets.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Why are you such a grouch in the morning, though?
Because I'm not a morning person.
That's right. You are so grouchy in the morning.
Yeah.
So, but I just want people to know you're not a morning person.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
But your mom is.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
I love the morning.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm capable of getting up in the morning if it's the right
reason to get up.
Yeah, the right reason to get up. You know, if I'm trying to catch a sunrise and film it, then I'll get up.
Do you like sunrises without filming?
No.
You don't? Oh my God. So you're not a nature person either, are you?
No, I like sunrises without filming. It's so weird though, because, you know, people say, hey, you know, don't film, enjoy the moment.
I was getting ready to say that.
It's both for me. I like doing both at the same time. And you don't think anything's impossible, right?
No.
So it's possible to film and enjoy what you're seeing through the lens and in real life at the same time. In every situation, no. But I do love what I do. And I love to create art with what I'm filming. And I love to watch it back. So that whole process, doing it while being there, while looking through the camera, and then not like, I can enjoy it both.
Working out is your go-to and is your comfort zone.
See?
You ever thought of getting out of your comfort zone athletically and doing something else as a workout?
You mean rather than lifting weights?
Yeah, like something extreme.
Yeah.
What do you consider extreme?
I thought about doing Ninja Warrior lately, but I also met a Ninja Warrior. So,
well, you know what I think is extreme
what's that?
for you? Being your
running,
ballet.
I'm good.
No, can you? But you know, ballet like Tai Chi. You've heard of Tai Chi. You know about Tai Chi, which y'all took when you were little. Is like ballet. It's about being fluid. It's like yoga. And it's rare to see someone at your height doing something like that. And I think that would be extreme. I think that would be interesting for you.
That would be great to see someone else in my height doing it. Because it ain't me. If I'm going to be flowy, it'll be with meditation or yoga. I'm down for yoga.
How about swimming?
Swimming's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like swimming. For me, it's just the reason lifting weights is what I do is because I know how to do it. I know how to get in and out the gym.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm swimming, I have to. There's extra layers to it,
right?
So, but yeah, you're talking about getting outside of my comfort zone, expanding the horizons. I do need to be more flexible, so yoga's probably the next step. Not ballet.
Do you get a lot of feedback about your name?
Yeah, I do.
Let's hear it.
I never know how to respond to people when they tell me that they love my name or, wow, that's such an interesting name. Oh, your parents really thought about that one. I never really know how to respond to
You should say they were just hippies.
They ask that, actually.
I know. Most people think.
Like, were your parents hippies? Or were they religious?
Are you your name?
Am I sacred?
Yes.
I'm gonna give a PMT response. We're all sacred.
What do you think is your greatest strength and your greatest weakness?
My greatest strength is that I care too much.
Did you get that from somebody?
From the office.
Oh, wow. I'm like, I heard that already.
The full quote, I think, is I care too much and I work too hard.
That's what
okay,
it is.
but so what are your weaknesses? My weaknesses are my strengths.
Yeah.
Michael Scott. Okay.
I think my greatest strength is I don't give up. Like, I don't think I'm the best at anything, but I'm not going to give up. So I think that's what keeps me going. If I have my mind set on something, that thing is done. It doesn't matter if it takes me 10 years, it's done.
So with saying
And
that.
then weakness is... I think I could learn faster. I think sometimes I can be. It could take me a while to get some concepts, and yeah, we'll just leave it at that for now.
What's your approach to handling disagreements and conflicts in your relationships?
I'm right.
That's the answer.
It depends. It depends. You know, in a perfect world, I'm going through steps like hearing the other person out, trying to understand, and then responding. But if emotions are involved, I'm like other people. I can just say what's on my mind. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter at what stage. I always think about what's been said, and I try to come back from it. But I'm still learning. You know, I'm still learning how to handle conflict a lot better. But I'm a very logically, is that a word?
No, logical.
I have a logical brain, so I'm all about right, wrong, solutions. I'm very solution based, but sometimes in conflict, it's really, especially when it comes to, you know, dealing with a woman. A woman's not always looking for the solution. They're looking to feel safe.
Expand on that.
Okay, they're not always looking for.
When you say safe, do you mean what kind of safe are you talking about? In what context?
Heard. They want to feel heard. They want to feel seen. That's what I mean by safe. But it's not necessarily. Sometimes there might be an outcry because that's all they want.
What's your favorite quality about yourself?
About me?
Mm-hmm. What do you love about yourself?
I don't want to talk about me.
What's your favorite quality?
Physically, and let's do physically, and again, I kind of answered already. I said that I won't stop. Like, I have drive.
So what makes you unstoppable?
I don't give up. Yeah, like yeah.
No, I know, but I mean, some people, they're okay. So
it's also pretty cool to be tall.
yeah, but there are driving forces with some people that make them unstoppable. I mean, as a mom, sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, I've always been motivated by being a caretaker, so that makes me unstoppable. Failing is not an option. I don't have the option to fail. So some things drive people to be unstoppable.
So I guess watching you do that, I have that same mentality. I haven't worked a regular job since I was, 21? Guess what? I didn't give myself that option. That's not an option for me. So I've had to figure out what I need to do to make money in different ways. That wasn't a 9 to 5. So I've just given. You've done that with your kids. I've done that with myself.
Right. Not just side note. What is your favorite food? Because you love to eat. You eat a lot.
I don't have a favorite food, but I mean, if I could eat one food for the rest of my life, probably tacos, because there's so many different ways you can make tacos.
Oh my God. You guys love tacos.
Yeah, probably tacos for sure.
Is it okay? So tacos, traditional tacos, people don't make with black beans. That's a Cuban thing.
Yeah, well, I guess.
And you got that from Florida.
I guess Cuban tacos then.
Yeah. So you don't like the refried beans? You like the black beans instead?
I prefer the black beans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What are your biggest?
What is your favorite childhood memory?
My favorite childhood memory. It's so hard for me to select favorite anything. I think my favorite childhood memory is years of memories, and it's running the streets with Juan and Victoria and Dylan and at Walnut Creek. Just us as kids, just running the streets, playing tag, creating havoc, playing ding dong ditch, playing throw up tackle. That's my favorite.
Awesome.
Yeah, because we were really close to them.
Who do you admire the most?
You.
And why?
You? And why? Because there's not, you see all these people do great things like on TV, accomplishments, but I've seen it in person. You've had 5 kids and everything that you've been through with, see, just everything that you've done and everything that you've been through. The audience doesn't know. I know you don't want me to say it.
I don't.
But you asked me the question.
Yes, I know.
But I know you know everything you've had to hold on your shoulders. And most people couldn't do it. Most people would give up. Most people would probably run away. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's something that you've never had as an option. So you.
Who else? Who do you I guess admire, look up to other than me, or
who do I look up to other than you?
or who's your favorite celebrity, if there was a celebrity that was your favorite other than your dad?
I can name a couple. I really like Kobe.
Why Kobe?
He's a killer.
Good. Kobe versus LeBron.
I'm gonna pick. Who's better?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with LeBron all day because I think LeBron's the best that ever lived.
Oh, really? Better than Michael Jordan?
Yeah, I think LeBron's the best.
Oh, okay. I don't watch basketball.
Yeah, there's ongoing debate, but I think he's the best because if you take LeBron, or put Michael Jordan one corner, LeBron the other corner, you give the same four other players to Michael, you give the same same exact clone players to LeBron, I think LeBron's team's going to win going head to head.
Why is that?
Because LeBron makes his teammates better. And he can score like Mike. But he can pass like Chris Paul. He can rebound. This man's 6'8", 6'9", 250 to 270 pounds, depending on what stage of his career. He's a freak of nature that lived up to every expectation ever placed on him. And I think LeBron makes his teams better.
How about Kobe?
I think Kobe and Michael are in the same category. They're both the ultimate scorers. Mm. But LeBron can do more things than them. Mm. He's better at more things.
So being a team player makes all the difference in the world, is what you're saying. Yeah.
But, Michael Jordan won more rings.
So why is that?
I think LeBron's thing was he was Golden State. He was standing in his way. He had to face the best team ever assembled, 73-win team, and then they added another Hall of Famer. He had to. Without that in his way, he'd probably have 8 versus 6.
I don't know anything about basketball, really.
Yeah, well, you asked me the question.
I just know about basketball.
Yeah, I'm just like, wah, 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 in her head.
So we touched on this a little bit, but if there was one goal in life, what would your number one goal in life be?
My only goal in life is to build a life I don't need a vacation from. And that means a lot of different things. It's just I'm at peace and in love at home. Same thing when I'm with you guys. Create a life where we're all striving towards something in our best capacity, Just putting us all in that position to do that.
Out of all the places that you've been to film others, what was your favorite filming experience? Because I know you've done the group from the Tiger King.
My favorite filming experience?
Yeah, you did the guy from National Geographics, right? And, you filmed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You've had a lot of experiences with influencers and all that. So out of all the places you've been with the groups that you've been with, what's your favorite or most memorable one? I know you've rode on elephants.
Mm-hmm.
You swim with tigers, and I've never seen you with a bear, and I don't think I want to see that.
Yeah, I don't.
And by the way, just for the record, I love what you do, but it scares the crap out of me.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Because, my prayer is that you get home safely,
I think you've gotten used to it, though.
No, I don't think I don't know if I'll ever get used to that. I don't know if I want to ever relax with that. But I love what you do. Because I think, probably if I was a guy, I'd be doing the same thing if I were a guy and I was you. But I just know that you take chances. Swimming with sharks and yeah.
Yeah. Life's about taking chances.
I don't know. Well, there's some chances I would take. Those would not be one of them.
I mean, I take calculated risks. I'm not one of those crazy people
Jumping out of planes.
I've jumped out of planes.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying you do all the things. I hold my breath when I'm watching the videos.
That's calculated, though.
Yeah, well, still.
Yeah, my favorite filming experience is hands down filming with Doc Antle at Myrtle Beach.
Who?
The Tiger Kingdom stuff.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, hands down. That was the most unique experience I've ever had. Because you're literally filming tigers, no cages.
Yes.
If they wanted to, they can tear us all apart.
Right.
But they didn't.
You're here. You're here. Thank the Lord.
Yeah,
You are here.
Got a chance to be very up close and intimate with a lot of different animals, and that was really cool.
Yes. Is that why you don't have a dog or a cat? Because you travel a lot?
Yeah, the reason I don't have a dog or cat is 100% because I travel too much. That's not fair for the dog or cat or any pet or fish.
Question from the corner. What do you think about artificial intelligence? Are you scared, excited? What do you feel? And do you think it's possible for them to take over?
AI. It's scary, but it's also it's interesting, It's in one hand, it's a tool that I think we can use to propel humanity forward at a speed that we couldn't do unless we had AI. AI can learn way faster than we can. And, if science is correct, this Earth isn't going to be here forever, right? Science is correct. Right. So we have to become an interplanetary species somehow. And I think the path towards that probably is AI. Now, on the flip, if AI becomes smart and then starts to look at us like we look at ants.
AI is already smart, by the way.
Well, it's smart, yes, but if it gets to the point where it looks at us like it looks at ants, it can manipulate us to even destroying ourselves.
Right.
Or like, what's the greatest good for the world?
To
probably the destruction of humanity.
Yeah.
That's probably
we saw it with COVID.
Like, if we got rid of humanity, everything would grow the way it's supposed to.
It did that with COVID temporarily. You saw the animals in the streets and
yeah. So if AI decides that's the right move, then we're probably screwed. So there's those two different things. Are we working with AI to get us to be interplanetary species, or are they deciding that we're the problem?
Two follow-up questions for that. You talked about how it's going to help propel humanity forward. Yeah. What are your thoughts on people saying that it's actually holding humanity back because now it's taking over a lot of the things that we used to use our brain for?
So if we were smart, which we're pretty freaking dumb, We would use AI to do the jobs that we don't want to do, so we don't have to worry about food. Because guess what's farming? AI. Guess what's making sure everyone's fed? AI. Guess we have all of our basic needs. Guess who's building houses? AI. But instead, we're going to have private companies that are going to take control of AI and use that greed, and they're going to be the most powerful things on the earth. And it's going to be some type of like, what is it, Hunger Games situation? You know, that's what it feels like, you know? But so, yeah, if we were smart, we would use AI to do the jobs that we don't need to do. Kind of like the Venus Project, you know?
I was just going to ask you about that, the Venus Project. Didn't you come with me to go to the Venus Project?
I didn't get a chance to come with you, but I definitely have seen like all the stuff on it, you know?
That was all AI.
If we weren't so separate, and when I mean separate, like China, America, Russia, if we were all just, hey, we're human, let's work together. You know how far we could be, but we're apes with freaking nukes, you know, at this point. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. We try our best, I think. We think this is how it's supposed to be, but if we looked out after one another, our neighbors, you know, we can use AI to propel all of humanity, not just America, not just whatever country, you know.
You talked about becoming more interplanetary. What do you mean by that?
Meaning like we can hop and skip to different planets?
For what?
Because the Earth is not going to be around forever.
Well, they're already making that arrangement. The meek will inherit the Earth, so we might.
I mean, Mars, but you know, our sun's going to explode, right? An asteroid's going to hit us eventually.
In like millions of years.
Well,
billions,
we don't know.
Probably billions. Yeah, billions.
We won't be.
What I'm saying is that there is a finite amount of time. It's something almost unconceptualizable. Not a word. You can't conceptualize it, but eventually it's going to. Or eventually there's always, if we look at history, there's probably been a natural disaster that's wiped out a lot of us at a time. And it does happen from time to time. So, you know, and it could even be a disease, like a worse COVID. You saw how we did with COVID. With COVID, we didn't know how to act. We couldn't. Not everyone's got a chance to stay inside, so it spread regardless. Imagine COVID, yet the death rate's 80%. That's possible, and we already see that we're not equipped to deal with that as a world, as you know. So, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. What if AI can develop empathy? Maybe they can, you know, put us in the right direction or something.
That would be awesome. That would be a miracle. Do you have other goals that you want to tell, or do you have any projects that you getting ready to do that you want to share with your audience yet?
Yeah, I am coming out with a course and a community. So I'm going to be building a community that is anchored by a course that teaches people how to grow their following through speaking online. And it's niche down to short form content. So I've been able to grow both my TikTok and Instagram to, I don't know, over like 1.3 million combined or something. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that has been propelled by me doing the thing that I have always been the most scared to do, which is speak. So if I can do it, someone else can do it, because this is a natural for me.
Well, it looks like it's natural.
That's great. But I've also done it a lot.
But I do know you've always been a shy boy. You were shy. You didn't want to go to dropping you off your first day at school.
Yeah.
No. You held onto my leg.
Yeah. I mean, even...
I still miss that little kid.
Yeah, well, yeah, so that's what I got coming out. And it's almost done.
So how are they, I guess you're going to promote it on your social media, and that's how they'll find out about it when when they can view it and sign up for it?
Yeah. So I'm still in the creation process. The whole layout's done.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, it's sections and bullet points.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to film and put in the nitty gritty stuff, the hard work. But it's pretty much done. But yeah, they'll be able to. I'll be promoting it on my Instagram for those who feel called to it. You know, and the community version is just gonna. It's so you can have a sense of community. And if there's certain things that you're having issues with, someone else in the group probably had that issue before, so the community can talk amongst each other about that. But I'll also be doing Q&As as well. And I know this opens up to, people wanting to do one-on-ones and stuff like that. I'm going to be very transparent. It's not going to be that. I'm not going to be doing one-on-ones or private calls or anything like that. I'm creating a community with a course and doing Q&As. And the reason for that, I don't even mind saying it. It's a money grab for people, but it's also like it does help people, and you can charge a lot more. But I've seen a lot of people start go this route and create courses and help people, and then they try to get more and more and more and more, and of course it brings in more and more money. But I'm trying to build something that can help, but also I can still manage and keep my mental sanity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want this to turn into. I want to just be able to still enjoy life, So
Right.
I'm creating a really good course that can help people. But I'm not going the whole $10,000 one-on-ones. I'm not doing that.
Right.
It's going to be very affordable, though. Very affordable
That's
for
good.
people.
That's awesome. And you mentioned that you have 1-point-something fans combined. What do you think make your fans gravitate to you? All these people gravitate to you because you have a huge demographic. We talked about it of women. You have men, women, and children and everything, but mostly women. What do you think why that is?
I think that
Because your mama's cutie patootie.
So first, I don't like to call them fans.
Well, okay. Well, you have followers.
Yeah, just people that I think are interested in me, and maybe that's me being too what is it, bashful? Not bashful. I don't know.
But yeah, followers. They're not fans. They're followers. But people who gravitate to you for a reason. And do you think why is that?
I think that in today's society, it's hard to find a black man on social media that's talking about the things that I'm talking about on a regular basis. Unfortunately, speaking about emotions and speaking about mental health and speaking about, the feminine and masculine and being able to, I think they gravitate towards me because the things that I speak about is just not as common for someone that looks like me to speak about them. It's growing though. It's growing.
Right. And that's a wonderful thing because the more people out there speaking positive, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and exactly. And being and that's another thing. And just, I try to stay as positive as possible. Mm-hmm. I try to stay as positive as possible, but just what's being shoved in our face isn't what the things I speak about, which is the negative side of us.
Yeah.
So
Right. I'm proud of you.
Well, thanks.
You've done a great job.
What?
Thanks, sister.
When would you like to retire, if you would like to retire?
That's a good question. I don't think there's ever going to be a point in my life where I want to retire and just sit there and do nothing. So it's more about less grinding, more passion, more help. So what I mean by that is just, I think there's going to come a point where, and I think it should happen with, I think there's going to come a point where instead of I'm out here grinding, making money and building, it's more about helping and teaching either my kids or more of the masses to do the same. So as far as when I would retire, I don't know if I retire. I think you still when you still have something to do with your life, it keeps you young, you know? So I don't think there's ever a point where I just want to sit on a beach every single day. That'll get boring, you know?
So it sounds like you're kind of close to getting to the retired, non-retired situation because you're starting to help people with your new program.
Yeah, it's getting close.
So if you could ask God one question that has nothing to do with anything silly like the lottery,
I can't hear you.
If you
She
could,
hears herself.
You can hear yourself. I can't hear you.
if you could ask God one question that has nothing to do with anything silly like the lottery or anything like that, if you could ask God one question, what question would it be?
What's the meaning of all of this?
That's a good. But what is the meaning?
That's why I'm asking God.
But you might have your own concept. I think life is to be lived.
Anything that comes out of my mouth is what I think.
But I know.
And I can agree with you. Life is to be, okay, what happens after you're born? You die. What happens, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's the circle of life. Life is to be lived. What does a tree do? It grows as tall as it can grow. What does water do? It flows and it dries up, evaporates, rains. There's a circle. What do people do? We grow, we live, we die. Repeat.
Speaking of,
life's to be lived.
do you believe in reincarnation?
I think the reincarnation makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Why?
Because of what I just explained. At the circle of life, it's everything lives and dies.
But the spirit doesn't, right? We don't.
Energy is energy is neither created or destroyed, only transferred. And that is a law in science. And when we die, we go into the soil. And what happens? Plants grow. You know, what feeds on us? Organisms. Like it's the circle of life.
Yeah.
And even if you go as big as stars explode. They create black holes. What's in a black hole? Probably another universe.
But guess what?
So it's the circle. It's the constant circle. So I think reincarnation makes the most sense.
And then you learn from listening to all of what you just said.
We're made out of stardust.
No, but check this out. No, but not only that, all this stuff is so small that we fret over.
Yeah.
All the things that we worry about and we make a big deal is so small.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you zoom out, you're just a speck of dust. It's so small. And you've taught me this. I don't, for the most part, I don't sweat the small stuff. There's always someone out there who's a lot less fortunate than I am, who's smiling. It's like the story you told me about the kid who was looking for a diamond in the poop.
The horse and the pony.
The horse and the pony?
Yeah, the negative kids versus the positive kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in all this crap, there's got to be a pony.
Yeah, and all this crap, there's got to be a pony. There we go. It's just there's always a bright side, and I think on the bright side to a fault sometimes because it pisses people off.
And that's unfortunate.
But that's unfortunate for them.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, there's still a bright side for me. So I know I know it's getting late.
No, follow-up question. Last question, okay? This is a follow-up.
Okay.
So you said what we learned in school. Energy cannot be neither created nor destroyed. It has to be transferred.
Yeah.
But you also said that we're really a speck of dust in it all. What if we are everything? If energy can't be created,
We're both.
If energy can't be created or destroyed, and you believe that reincarnation is probably something that's possible, how do we know we're not just talking to ourselves right now?
We are.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. So there's that second meta wave. Yeah, we are everything, and what makes sense is we are everything all at once, right? So at this point, we're just a viewpoint of everything, like a small little viewpoint. And we're playing a game with ourselves. We forgot who we are.
That's right.
You know.
So you answered God's question.
And we teach what we need to know.
But this is just what I think. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Sacred. And this is part 1, and part 2 will be even more richer, and I'll be more energetic.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you for sitting down and taking the time to interview me.
This is the Sacred Thomas Podcast.